All right. So I'm not going to make this all lame and do like a, well, welcome to.
Right.
So, so tell me about the weight loss. Is that strictly just from the Adipex?
Yeah. Well,
Or Adipex?
The Adderall.
Adderall.
Well, what the Adderall does for me is it doesn't take my appetite away. I still get hungry, smell food. I still want to eat, man. I love food. Problem is, I can start eating, but after I get about 4 or 5 bites in, I start gagging when I try to swallow.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. I've just grown accustomed to it. So I just don't eat now. I eat like once a day.
Well, I noticed whenever I'd ask you if you want to go out and hang out, you never wanted to eat. So I guess that's probably attributes to that, right?
That's probably why I've dropped. I started at 260 when I started on the Adderall, and that was probably about 6 months ago.
Yeah.
I'm down to about between 215 and 220.
Because I was gonna say, when we were in school, you were pretty slim, and then afterwards you ballooned up a little. Were you off it?
Oh yeah, I was off it. And plus the Adderall I was on then was the instant Adderall, so it would wear off after a while.
Gotcha.
I'm on the extended release, the XR, which it just lasts all day, which is good because if I'm not focused on something, I'm like talking to you like, oh hey man, by the way, it's stupid.
Okay, so you don't have to get into specifics, but are you on a higher dose than what normal people would be on?
I'm on 40 milligrams.
Okay.
The problem is they don't make 40 milligram pills.
Right.
So I have to take a 30 and a 10.
Twice a day?
Once.
Or just once?
Once a day.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because, well, like you know, because I've told you about this, but they didn't give me Adderall.
They give you Ritalin.
They gave me Ritalin.
They need to put you on Adderall.
Well,
Ritalin is the wrong thing.
Well, I had a whole issue with it because every time he would say try it for a month, come back, and then he'd charge me like $170 to bump it up like 5 milligrams. It's like, if it's gonna help, I'll be broke by the time it comes around.
Like, why don't I just give you my checkbook, Doc? You can just write yourself a check.
He's like, come on in, pee in this cup. Okay, you're taking it. See you later. 5 more milligrams, and I was just getting irritated with it. So when were you diagnosed with it? Were you as a kid?
No, and that's the thing. I probably should have been diagnosed as a kid because I acted the same way then as I do now, which it's how Jalen acts, which is the frustrating part, but that's another story.
Jalen being your daughter.
Yeah,
right?
my oldest, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
I was actually diagnosed as bipolar, which is kind of messed up because I'm not bipolar. So therein lies the problem. But
surprises me that you're not.
Right? Well, they had me on these bipolar meds. Well, it kept making me worse. Like it would, man, I'd be watching TV and I'd be like, ha ha, laughing something. I'd start crying, man, blubbering like a bitch. Man, I'm like half retarded, man.
No
what
kidding.
What's wrong with this meds? That make me want to hurt somebody because I get pissed off because now I'm crying.
But why would they think that you were bipolar?
Because the doctor was a freaking idiot.
Oh, so you just had overall issues with that physician?
Yeah, it was bad, man. So I just stopped my meds and I got better. Funny thing.
Right.
So we go along and I go see Dr. Chawla.
Yeah,
and
Chawla's a great doctor.
He's like, hey, I want you to do me a favor. I said, what? He's like, I'm going to ask you some questions. I want you to answer them. I said, okay. So he gets this little note card thing and he starts reading off all these questions. Do you have this? Do you feel like this? Do you feel like this? And he's like, man, you answered like 8 out of 9 questions. I'm like, okay. He's like, you have adult ADD.
Well, Harry, let me pause you there and let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so when the first red flag I had is when I went to this doctor. He gave me a sheet that he looked like he printed off the internet to answer those questions.
But a check sheet.
But right, but that worries me. Like my whole mental health is decided on which box I check mark.
Hey, Dr. WebMD. Yeah, okay, I'll take your test for you.
But I was also concerned with the questions. I was like, do you feel better than normal most days? And I'm like, should I feel worse?
Oh, what's normal?
Well, right. It was just like, what I expressed on the sheet was, I tried to be an overachiever.
Right.
I tried to be motivated. I was upbeat. I felt good. And I always kept feeling like there's something else I need to accomplish. And he's like, you're severe. But then it blows my mind. You know what I mean? So but that's how you were diagnosed too then. Yeah, you had a check sheet.
But he didn't print it off of Google search.
Right. He just knew the questions to ask you essentially. Right?
No, it was on a card. It was
really?
That airflow chart that they gave us in school, in HVAC school.
Yeah.
It was basically, if you take that and stand it up, that's what it looked like, just a big
I
plastic
gotcha.
card.
Yeah.
And he's just reading these questions. And I'm like, what are you looking at? He's like, I'm like, dude, this ain't a high school test, man. I can kind of look at your thing if you want. Like, I can go ahead and just tell you right now.
Yeah, no problem.
But yeah, he's like, okay. He's like, so I answered like almost all of them that would fall into that category of ADD, ADHD. Now, I'm not hyperactive. I am lazy. I will be honest. I don't like to exert more. I like to work smarter, not harder. So
I've known that since school.
Right. So I'm not overactive. So that's why he said ADD, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, what's that mean?
Right.
He's like, well, it's adult deficit. It's attention deficit disorder. I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, hey, man, did you think about, man, what were we talking about? He's
Right.
like, see what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, I guess so. So then he put me on, man, he had me on, I can't remember what he had me on first. I think it was Adderall. But it was, oh no, it wasn't Adderall. It was something other than Adderall. I can't remember what it was. But it worked for a while. But I couldn't afford the medicine because it was too freaking expensive.
Was it?
So I stopped taking it. Well, I'll try it again. So then when I tried it again, it messed me up, man. It just made me worse than what I was. I'm like, I think this right. I don't think this med's right. I think it messed with it or something. So that's when I went to the doctor I got now. And she's like, we're going to try you on some Adderall. We'll start you off on 10s because you're kind of a big guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. So I started off on 10s. And it was actually working pretty good. And then
Really?
My body has it's weird. I build up tolerances to things. That's why I can drink a lot. That's why I can.
Understood.
My meds. I mean, I built up a tolerance after about 2 or 3 months on it. Then I built up a tolerance. It doesn't work anymore. So then she kept bumping me up and bumping me up. And then when she's like, man, we're at the max level for these regular Adderall. She said, we're going to try you on XRs. I'm like, okay. So then I went to 10s of the XRs. And those worked for a while. Then I started building up a tolerance. So then she put me on 20. Then she put me on 30s. And she's like, well, now we're the problem. I said, why?
Right.
What's the problem? She said, they don't make anything more than the 30.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's awesome. She's like, well, we'll try a 30 and a 10. And if you build up a tolerance to it, we'll go to 30s and 20s, then 30s and 30s. And then once you max that out, she said, we're going to have to try to find something else. I'm like, well, I don't want Ritalin because that's like cocaine in a pill.
I didn't like it at all.
Right.
So, but this is what kind of concerns me because you said you currently take 40 milligrams just once a day,
Yep.
and then that extended release should last throughout the day, right? I was taking 20 milligrams twice a day.
Right.
So is that essentially the same dose as you? Or how does it work with extended release? I don't know, and I'm sure you probably don't know really, but
I guess we could relate it this way. It's like a Tylenol versus an Aleve. Tylenol is an immediate, it works for a while, but it wears off. Aleve will work all day long. I only know this because of the commercial. 2 pills all day strong all day long. It's got to. It'd be false advertisement.
True.
So that's about the best way I can put it. Or the way it worked for me was like when we was in school. I was on the little blue Adderalls.
Yeah.
I would take that. Of course, you see me that day we was playing basketball. How I was all jacked up like I was just slammed a rail up my nose.
Yeah.
So, but eventually that would wear off, and then I would just die off like caffeine.
Right. So you have a little bit of a crash.
Right. Well, this XR, I take it in the morning before I go to work about 6 o'clock, and it starts wearing off probably about 8 o'clock at night.
Does it ever keep you up at night? Or are you in a good system?
That's my problem. I just don't fall asleep. I can't fall asleep easy, but once I fall asleep, I'm asleep. And I think I don't think I contribute that to my meds. I think that's just my body.
Right.
So I'll lay up in bed. It just depends too. If I've had something to drink before I go to bed, or if I go to bed sober. If I lay in bed watching TV, I'll depends on what I'm watching. I can either fall asleep quick, or I can look at the cable box on my TV, and it's like 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, shit, I got to do like freaking 2.5 hours, man.
Right.
Dragging ass.
I don't want to get too into how you feel off it yet. So when were you? So what was the actual age that you started taking medicine from the first doctor?
For my Adderall?
Yeah.
Oh, man. How old was it?
Were you in your 20s or 30s?
I'm thinking I was in my 30s.
You were in your 30s. So, like, looking back now, can you see that you struggled?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Like you think, like,
That's
if I
probably why
had
I
this
had
back then?
That's probably why I had a failed first marriage.
Really? You would contribute to how not treating the
that
ADD?
Kind of sucked, but
Well, yeah, that's kind
of a two-way street there. But yeah, had I been diagnosed, of course, dude, I'm 42, so that's not something that was normal or diagnosed. I don't even think that was really even a common. I don't think that was a common diagnosis when I was a kid growing up.
Right,
I think
definitely not.
any doctor would have just said, "Oh man, he's just all boy."
Right.
And
That's
my
a
dad
huge
would have been
thing.
like, "Man, he's an idiot, man. I think there's something wrong with this kid." Because I say it about mine all the time. Like, what the hell's wrong with my daughters? Like, I test Carrie. I'm like, there's something wrong with your kids, man. Like, what is wrong with them? Oh, that's just how they are. They're just like you. Well, no, I don't think I was that bad as a kid. I mean, I probably was, but no. But yeah, I probably should have been diagnosed with ADD. Well, when I was a kid, I was kind of hyperactive, so I fell out of trees a lot. So I climbed trees. Like I like to be outside all the time. I'd get hurt. I'd fall off my bike. Kind of wreck my bike a lot.
But see, like, can you think of a trait in which you can decipher between a boy being a hyper boy that they are and being ADD? Because me looking back, I struggled in school to focus and things like that. But there's other things like sports and fitness and other recreational things that I never seemed like I had an issue with focusing. So I don't know if it me being a guy and young, or was it?
No, I think because I played football for 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th grade. It gives you something to focus. It gives you something to focus on, and that's the biggest thing about the Adderall. It allows me to focus, and this is how I put it. They're like, "Well, what's it like in your mind?" And I said, "Well, I don't think you really want to know because it's kind of a dark, twisted path in there."
I believe that.
I call it the whirlwind of thoughts, and this is how most people can relate. If you have ADD or ADHD. If I'm not medicated, I get a whirlwind of thoughts. I get so many thoughts in my head, just everything that's going on. It's just so many thoughts. It's like one of those wind tunnel vacuums, how you can see everything
That is
spinning.
100% how I would describe it.
And that is my brain. Well, unmedicated, I'll be talking to Carrie, I'll be talking to you or my mom, or I'll be talking, and I'll just say something just so off the wall and so off on a tangent. And then I'll go back to the conversation.
You're back to normal.
Like I never skipped a beat.
Right.
And they're like, what the hell was that? And I'm like, okay, so if I'm not medicated, I get a whirlwind of thoughts. And if I don't, as soon as that thought stands out, if I don't say it and get it out, it gets recycled.
Yeah.
And everything and then I start getting frustrated because I can't
You can't stay there on one thing.
I can't concentrate on one thing. Then I start getting pissed because I can't get frustrated. And then, of course, my personality, the way my brain works, when I get so frustrated, then I start stuttering. So now I'm a stuttering Stanley. So it's like terrible, man. And that's the nice thing about this Adderall is
it's crying on here.
This Adderall, man, it takes all of those thoughts and it just spreads them out and it allows me to focus on whatever task I'm working on. That's how I explain how my brain works with ADD.
Mm. Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I kind of want to bring up actually last night. Okay, so I'm sitting there and I'm actually laying. Chelsea worked 12 hours, so she's laying in bed. So I go in there and I lay down with her and I talk with her for a minute because I come back out. I can't go to sleep when she does most of the time. But what was it? I tell her I was like, I'll get these thoughts of like ambitions or like goals I want to do out of nowhere, and it scares her. I mean, it scares her. So I was like, what if I quit my job and I try to be a motivational speaker? I need you behind me 100%. And she's freaking out like we're gonna lose the house, we're gonna lose all this stuff, And she's like, I'm always behind you, but you just can't. You can't watch a video on YouTube and then decide your fate,
Why not?
But I do that all the time, I do love motivating people, and I like to be an inspiration to some extent, or I'd like to try to get people to do something.
Right.
But it's like, and then when I sit down, I'll get on my laptop while she went to bed, and I'm like, well, that was stupid. It's like, I shouldn't have said that. I have no idea in doing that.
I think I would be a great motivational speaker. Like, you know what? If you just don't be dumb and you just, do what you're told to do and you keep your mind on track, you can accomplish anything. There are limitations. So
then you throw all the obstacles.
There are limitations in life. Like, if you don't have a lot of money and you're poor, you're probably not going to make it too far in life. Because you got to spend money to make money.
That is the opposite of what
if you don't have money to spend, you're not going to make it. But I'm telling you, if you put your mind to it, you can do anything.
Let's shelf that idea for now, for both of us.
We'll go ahead and put that on the back burner.
Oh man, but it was just funny you say that because there's a point I go to some coworkers at work and I'll be like, I just can't stop at all. Like I think about 100 different things. I don't know if I'm happy in the current place I am in the life, and I feel insecure, and then I feel nervous and vulnerable, and then a lot of things just start going off at one time, and that's when I decided to look at it in general. I just don't think the doctor I was with went about it in the right way.
Right.
So that's what kind of worried me. But I actually wanted to start talking to you because you said, you can do a lot of things, but you might, no matter how hard you work out or try to focus and do things, you still probably need to look into medication because you can't avoid it.
That's the thing. I grew up in martial arts. I grew up fighting, grew up boxing, kickboxing, all that good stuff. I learned how to control my mind. But I even will admit that there is only so much that I can do to control my mind. There's only so much I can do to control my thoughts and to calm my thoughts down. Without medication, man, this world is going to really hate me because, like, I'm going to turn into a dick. Now I'm going to start talking to somebody and be like, oh, man, did you see? Hey, holy crap, look at that.
Right.
You know, and it's just, people are like, what is wrong with you? I don't know.
Did physical activity help you at all? Do you think having the martial arts?
Doing things helps. If I have something that I can focus my brain on, like if I'm screaming at my kids because they're being little assholes to each other,
right,
I can focus because it's giving me something. It's giving me the task at hand of not getting the paddle or the belt and beating the shit out of them.
Like it was the problem, so now you're going for the solution and the focus now.
You know what the problem is, kids? What? You. What? You know what the solution is? What? My fucking belt. No, I love my kids, dude. Just sometimes
your kids are great.
So. Yeah, and that's just a whole other monster.
Right. We'll get to that. All right. So tell me about, have you been diagnosed and treating this the whole time you've been with Carrie?
Oh, yeah.
His wife?
Yes.
You have been.
Let me think about this.
Like, how does she react when you're not medicated? Has she had struggles with you with this issue?
I'm locked out of the house. I'm not allowed to be home.
You're just done. It's like she's not doing it.
You got to sleep out in the garage. They're like, I love you, honey, but you need to stay away until you get some medicine.
And a little segue, Carrie does not play games.
No, she doesn't.
So this is 100% believable.
She is, I was once told, is a no-nonsense. When you ask, what does no-nonsense mean? Like, she'll stick her foot in my ass. Like, I'm 6'4", about 215, 220. I'm a pretty tough guy. I can be quite scary if I'm pissed off. Like, she scares the shit out of me, man.
Me too, just from looking at how she looks at you.
She scares me.
I'm afraid I'm going to catch some collateral.
Here's why I'm scared of my wife. One, because she's Amish, and we all know that Amish people are kind of scary. Well, that's a funny story. But when I first met Carrie, she could fight. Like, she was pretty decent at defending herself. Well, I just kind of...
I love Carrie, by the way, so shout out.
Yeah, love you, honey. But I've kind of been working on her with self-defense and things like that. So I started going with ground and pound, trying to teach her some ground and pound. So we start wrestling around. And I keep telling her, I let you do this to me, but she knows better. So I know, buddy. I know. I feel the same way. So we start rolling around. She gets on top of me. She gets in full mount. And
are we talking about fighting?
Yes.
Okay.
This is training ground pound. And she reaches down, dude. Now I'm laying on my back, and she's straddling my waist.
Right.
She reaches down, and she grabs my shirt like this. She's laying on me. Now, I weighed more then.
Yeah.
She goes, and lifts me up and slams me into the floor like 4 or 5 times.
Really?
And the last time she did it, knocked the wind out of me. Now, I'm thinking she ain't fucking playing. She's going to beat me up, man.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't defend myself because, now I can't breathe, and she's kicking my ass.
Right, you're disoriented.
Then, not on top of that, she adds insult to injury. She takes her forearm and she sticks it right here in my freaking cheek, and she starts rubbing my head into the ground. Really? And she, you know what the worst part was? She was giggling the whole fucking time. She's like, I kicked your ass. I'm like, all right, get the fuck off
injury.
me. Yeah, like, get off me. Get off me. I'm done. I'm not playing no more. I'm done playing with you.
She'd probably be like a full gi jiu-jitsu champion if she would have decided to.
She scares me.
All right, so let me see what else I got on here. So as of right now, are you handling everything associated with the ADD and ADHD?
As well as I can.
So you still have problems even though you're medicating? Like, does it ever come out in social or work or family incidents? Like, like, does it come through the medication?
I'm really not a big fan of a lot of my family, so...
Well, yeah, I guess I meant Carrie and the girls. Your immediate family.
Yeah, my temper here has been real bad. I've been flying off the handle real easy. Yeah. I don't know if that's just because I'm stressed out about life and just frustrated or... but I've got a new thing now. I bring it down a notch. Yeah. I got to breathe. I'm just like, man, I got to stop for a minute. And the kids are crying and screaming and fighting. I'm like, come on, bring it down a notch. Right. And that seems to help. But, man, here lately I've been having to do it a lot.
Yeah.
So.
But that's great. I think it's important if a man can kind of get himself together, pull himself back to reality, realize what you need to do, and that what you're acting is not cool.
I would say probably 90% under control. Yeah. I mean, there's only so much medicine can do. You still have to work to, you still got to help the medicine.
Right.
It's like one of those, I can help you, but you have to help yourself. Mm-hmm. I can help you, but you got to help yourself. And that's what the Adderall's doing. It helps me, but I have to work at when it can't control 100% of the aspect of how my brain works. I have to help.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, what I notice when taking it is it's like people automatically think you're like taking it as like a speed,
right?
You know, but it's like that's not how it works. If you have this, it's like
right.
it just makes you feel a little more normal than normal, right?
It helps me. It gets the, how do I want to put it? I call it the roofer Rob. When I was a commercial roofer, man, like my brain was so twisted. The things I would say, you know, like now I just tell dad jokes, because if I try to tell my 11-year-old daughter some sick twisted
jokes.
Yeah, if I try to tell her some kind of a sick twisted joke, she's gonna be like,
she's gonna be a little traumatized.
Yeah,
if I have to talk to a therapist.
Children's services is gonna take her away from me or something, man. So
that's true.
I still have to work,
yeah.
but you also have to change your train of thought, which I have some troubles doing, because I've been a certain way for so long. It's hard to unlearn.
Right.
I don't know if
it's almost like retraining your mind, though. But
right. I don't know if you want to call it the bad, but you have to unlearn a certain way to readapt, and that's the thing where kids come in, because it helps. Like, I still drop the F-bomb, dude. Like, it's my favorite word. To me, it's just another word in English language. I'm fucking talking to somebody. And
right.
Terry's like...
It's just a sentence builder.
Like, man, you need to calm down. Right. It's an enhancer.
Right. Enhancer.
It's a sentence enhancer.
There it is.
You know, like, you're kind of hot today, honey. She's like, oh, well, thanks. But like, no, you're fucking hot. Now, that just really enhances...
Just bump that level.
Right. It really lets you know how you feel.
Right.
You know, so... But, yeah, you still have to work, even though it does help. Probably 90%.
Yeah.
Now, when you first start taking it, yeah, it kind of speeds you up a little bit. It gives you the energy. Once the speeder wears off, you definitely know it, because your brain goes from working at overtime. You know, you're just working, and your body's good because your brain's controlling your body. So everything's just sped up. And then once that speed wears off, after for me, it was about 2 hours. Once and then of course, then I start shaking like a queer in a hot dog factory. I'm trying to do something. I'm like, oh my God, man, I got like fucking Parkinson's or something, man. Like, that's Bell's palsy. Something's going on, and I can't stop it. And then the speed would wear off, and then my brain would stop running so fast, and then everything got focused. So I loaded, and I'm going to grab a beer. So let me take one second.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's basically about how that works.
Okay, but so I guess this is something I wanted to ask you, though. Do you think that I need to get back on the track of finding? But see, I hate the idea of having to take a medication for the rest of my life. You know, because I'm 23. I don't want to have to take it until, you know, I die at 50. But
well, that's the thing. It becomes. How long have you been taking supplements, vitamins, things like that?
12.
Since 12 or for 12 years?
So they might be pretty close. Both.
Okay.
So since 12, we'll just say since 12.
Okay, so once you first started taking them, it just felt like a chore. Getting up in the morning, gotta take your freaking, God, I gotta take my fucking vitamins. Oh, God.
Disagree.
And then after a while,
I took it because I thought it was like steroids.
Right.
So I was like protein shake,
which we all know
just
it's
made me
not.
fatter.
Then you start pissing yellow and it stinks. And it's like, what the hell? What am I taking?
I was drinking creatine like it was water.
Right.
Which it helped, but after a while, I just kind of realized this is maintenance things I need to do, and you think it'll be the same?
Eventually, it just becomes part of your routine. You get up, you take your pills. Every morning I get up. Oh, what time do I get up in the morning? Probably 4:45. My alarm goes off on my phone, then I snooze it for 15 minutes, and I get up at 5 o'clock. And then sometimes I still lay there smoking a cigarette and watching TV and playing on my phone, and it's 5:30, and I'm like, shit, I gotta get dressed and make coffee and a fucking smoothie, and damn it, I gotta leave in 20 fucking minutes. Damn it, man, man, what if I call off?
That's the normal routine for everybody.
But yeah, so then I get upstairs and I get up and I turn the girls' lights on and get them up, and I go downstairs and start my coffee and turn around and grab my pill bottles off the top of the huts and pop the lids off and grab me 30 and a 10 and take a drink of water, some orange juice or beer that's been sitting overnight, whatever I got around that's going to help me swallow these pills. It's routine, man. I don't even think about it anymore.
So how long have you been on it now? How long have you been on Adderall now, do you think? I don't know if I asked you that already.
Probably...
Well, you said, how old are you now, 42?
I'm 42.
So 12 years?
Probably. No, not that long. I'd say probably...
Damn, dogs stomp around here.
Dr. AJ? Probably 6 years, maybe.
6 years?
5-6 years.
Okay, I know you probably don't think of this, but something that I'm thinking of is because I'm a larger person, I probably need a higher dose.
Right.
What about the possibility of having a dependency later? Like, that's something I worry. Like, I know essentially they're like, well, you're going to take it forever.
Damn.
That freaking
Dude,
dog
we got jingle
whirlwind.
bells on your neck. Holy shit, man. It's all right, buddy. It's all right, man. I know. Just piss on the floor by the door, but like I told you to let us out, because that's what my pit does. She likes to look at you and whine. If you don't let her out, she's like, "Fuck you! I'll shit piss on your floor, dick."
Well, they don't want out. I think they just want attention because you're here. But
I'm going to answer that dependency question.
Okay, because that's what I'm worried about. Because I don't want to be dependent on anything. I hate even taking it like I'm supposed to. So I don't want to feel withdrawal. I don't want to feel withdrawal.
Without your insurance, because Carrie has the same insurance. Without your insurance, Jalen's on this too, and we'll get into that later.
Yes.
For my 2 bottles and Jalen's bottle, every month we were selling out over $300.
Whoa.
We couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
So
No kidding.
I went off Adderall. First week, yeah, I was a little cranky because I don't have my meds and I can feel it.
Yeah.
After that, my brain just went back to, I just don't have my medicine. Got back on my meds after we were able to start affording our medicine again. And now that our deductible's paid, it's like $80 or something. It's something stupidly cheap compared to what it is without insurance. But as a dependency, no. Once you're on it for an extended period of time and it's in your system, once you're off of it, you may be like, man, I can tell I don't have my medicine. That's what I tell Carrie. I can tell I don't have my medicine because of how I'm thinking. I need my medicine. I just know that I need it, and I know I don't have it.
Do you ever feel physical withdrawal?
No.
Okay, because there are a lot of studies that show that it can. That's what worries me.
It isn't amphetamine.
Right.
It's a salt dextroamphetamine. So, a lot of people are like, oh, you just take it just for the speed. No.
That's right. It does not do
No,
that.
it does not speed me up.
It increases my heart rate, but it does not make me feel at all jittery or raging or nothing.
No, and I don't like go into roid rage or nothing when I'm on it. Now, as much as I'd like to, no, I don't. I may fly off the handle quick, but I cool down quickly too. So, but it doesn't give me any. Not like you've been a meth head for 2 years, you stop taking it, or heroin. You get dope sick. You're laying in bed puking and shit. No, it's none of that. You just know that you don't have it in it. You know that you need it, but your body doesn't feel any different. The body doesn't feel any different, but your brain does.
Gotcha. So you don't think there's much of a worry then as far as that?
Not for me. And I have an addictive personality. I don't gamble because I will spend my entire fucking paycheck, man. I don't go to the casino for a reason. One, because it's no longer put a quarter in and pull the arm. No, you got to get this stupid little fucking credit card and you get I don't gamble because I know that once I start, I can't stop. That's why I was a drug addict for years, because man, if I like it, I'm going to stay on it.
Right.
And I have to do it. That's why I'm.
But you know what? You're not on any drugs, and you have a great job. You have a great family. You're doing things great. So I just want to commend you for that.
Well, thank you. But and same to you. Looking forward to the wedding, man. That's awesome.
Yes.
But there's no. I've been hooked on drugs where I've had the dependency once I got off.
Right.
So no, as far as the Adderall goes, or whatever the brand is that I'm on, it just once it's out of my system, it's out of my system about a day or two, and I'm back to being a dick.
Right, it's like a pain not to have it, but it's not like you're gonna rob a liquor store to pay for it.
Right, yeah, I'm not gonna go rob a liquor store and get $40 when I can't even buy one pill. So it doesn't even worth it, man.
Right.
Plus, I'm afraid of going to jail. I don't want raped.
Yeah, you are pretty, but
all right, I like to think so.
All right. Well, that kind of covers everything I wanted to talk about ADD and ADHD, right?
But, and just so you know, before going any further, when you're doing your dishes, and I've seen this post on Facebook, when you're washing your dishes, the dishes itself isn't a chore. That is cleaning your kitchen.
We don't need to get into this.
So, wait. Once you do your dishes, you are only part way done with cleaning your kitchen. So now you have to move from the sink to the stove to the counter. And I have always been a firm believer that if your kitchen is clean, your house looks clean, because that's what people notice the most. So it's It's kind of like a bullet point. There's 1, A, B, and C. It's all one thing, but it's broken down into separate parts of that one thing. That's just my take on it. I clean my kitchen a lot. Well, I can't say that's a lie.
Well,
I think about cleaning my kitchen.
Right.
A lot.
I do 90% of the cooking, so I do like the kitchen to look good.
Right.
But there was at one time that Chelsea made a note that I said the dishes are a separate chore from cleaning the kitchen, and she won't leave it down. And because you agree with her, I'm going to have to ask you to leave my house.
Well, I'm taking my open beer with me.
Oh, I'm just kidding. But I like to take care of the kitchen. As you can see, it's fairly clean now.
Right.
Like I got some stuff set up for a podcast. Those are lights I meant to turn on, but I'm not sure that we're going to need them. And if we do, well, people just look at a dark version of us.
Right. But
So I don't really care.
you just have to imagine what I look like. You know, you can hear my sexy voice and be like, man, I bet that dude's hot. And I would beg to differ. I am not, but I sound sexy. It's like those phone sex people that you call
can
them
do
up
it.
and like, them chicks sound hot, but I'll bet you they're like 3 foot tall, like 400 fucking pounds. There's probably a dude.
We are so off topic.
I told you, dude. I'm a brain
But
works, man.
but you do have that voice where you can be like in theaters now.
That's right. And
So
you know, like that stupid dude in that car commercial, like that kid commercial where they got that fat salesman riding behind him in the passenger seat, and he's giving him that radio voice. I hate that guy. Like, I have so many pet peeves, man.
I know you do. You know what voice I do like on a commercial though?
What's that?
Little Sweet.
Yes, I love Little Sweets, man. It's a sweet
I hate
one.
Dr. Pepper, but boy, I
Yes.
love Little Sweet.
Yes, it's a sweet one. I can't even get that high voice anymore. I start cracking. Probably guys should probably quit smoking, but you know, whatever it is, what it is.
That's a whole different topic.
Yeah, and I can't do my Herbert voice no more, so. But yeah.
All right, so the next thing I wanted to discuss was actually you're the one that wanted to talk about a couple of these topics. So marriage is the next one.
Man, that's an in-depth topic.
You
That could take
already start like
man.
like I just gave you the burden of the world.
Honey, I love you, and being married is the greatest gift in the world. I couldn't ask for anything better.
Carrie's lying. You'll have to comment on this video.
No, she knows. I wake up every day just love to look at my wife and give her a kiss every morning before I leave. And that is a true story, by the way. We have a theory, and I've ingrained this into my married life of there are 2 very important rules and aspects that will help you in your marriage. One, don't lie to your spouse, man. There are no secrets. Trust is
Absolutely.
Trust is your biggest foundation for marriage. And in fact, you got to kind of love who you're married to. But you got to live with them for a while first. Because you got to make sure you can cohabitate before you...
Right.
If you just get married and move in together and you realize, man, she's a fucking slob.
Yeah.
Like, I can't fucking live with... Or she's like, man, you're a dick, man. I cannot live with you. I come home, the fucking house smells like a sack of open ass. They're like, dude, do you even bathe? You know? So... You got to cohabitate, but you got to have trust. You got to build that foundation. But we have 2 rules: never go to bed angry, never leave angry. So if we start fighting, which has been a while since we've had a good one, so you know the makeup sex is always the greatest thing about fighting with your spouse. So I mean, it is what it is, unless you live with a guy, then it's not. No, but for real. If we start fighting and we're fine, we'll make the girls go to bed. We don't fight in front of our children,
Right.
Because that's past experience,
Right.
growing up. Your kids don't need to see that.
Right, and you're pretty strong about that.
Right, so we will keep our fights to ourselves. There's been a couple of days, Carrie will tell you there's only been one time I've really scared her while we were fighting, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But if we start fighting, we will not go to bed until we've worked it out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't care if we're up till 5:30 and we have to leave for work at 5:35.
Right.
We will stay up all night to work it out, just so we're not going to bed angry. And
Right.
you never leave the house angry. So if you fix it before you go to bed, you don't leave the house angry, because you never know what can happen.
Right. Chelsea's
You start
huge
fighting,
on that too.
You say something that you may regret later, or you go to bed with those ill intentions in your mind. You're still fighting. You haven't worked it out yet. What if? I am a worst case scenario in my brain. What if we haven't worked it out? I haven't told my wife I love her and kissed her goodnight yet, and I have a heart attack and die in my sleep. The last thing that was said to her was something out of anger. And that's something that she has to live
Right.
with, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Now, that's something I have to live with, that, my wife passed away in her sleep, and the last thing that she said to me was something out of anger.
Right.
So,
Now that's on you forever.
right. So that's, and man, once that part of my ADD is I focus on. There are
Yeah.
certain things that I focus on. Like if some dude is a shitty driver and it pisses me off, man, and he just disappears and I will never see him again,
Yeah.
but I will focus that dude was a complete douche nozzle on the fucking road. I will focus on that for hours, man. It's just, I can't help it. I'm pretty sure the same way. You just focus, you just find something that has annoyed you.
Yep.
And you
And
just
it's but that's almost a guy thing
like
too.
6 hours later, you're like,
Man, that really bugged
man, I
me.
should have punched that dude in the ear. You know, or like, man, what the hell is wrong with that guy? Or,
Oh my.
you know, like 3 days later, I'm like, you know, honey, that thing you said to me, remember what you just said to me? She's like, what I just said to you? Yeah, don't you remember? She's like, man, that was like a week and a half ago. I'm
Right.
like, oh, my bad.
Never mind.
I
I've
just
been
forget
focused.
that. Yeah, I'm sorry, honey.
Right.
You know
Been on
what?
something
I
lately.
must have missed something. I must have dreamed it or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that's definitely have to trust, don't lie to your spouse, never go to bed angry, and just, I try to do what I can to keep her happy because I don't like to fight.
Yeah.
I don't like confrontation, especially with her because, like I said, she scares the shit out of me, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I just like I like harmony in my house. The things, you know, you got to make decisions together because marriage is a team effort.
Right.
You know, so you definitely have to make sure you talk a lot with Chelsea. And once you get married, you know, everything is always, when decisions are made, especially big decisions, even little decisions, they may seem little to you, but I will guarantee she will come up to you 2 days later and be like, you know what, a couple days ago when you decided to go and look at that couch without me, or
Yeah.
you know, that treadmill, that elliptical, or you know,
Just
got a
something.
new camp, you know, just something you wouldn't even think.
Large purchase of some
Yeah,
sort.
anything. It could
Yeah.
just be little that you didn't even think about. And she'll be like, man, what the hell's wrong with you, honey? Well,
We can get into that.
yeah, we'll go ahead and talk about this
Yeah.
right now. So
Well, see, luckily, I'm very blessed with Chelsea, and I am by no means shy about that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we definitely practice the don't go to bed angry.
Right.
For sure, because if I irritate, like I'm a fix it now.
Right.
Like it doesn't matter now, fix it.
Right.
She is not. She's a let me be by myself, stew on it.
Oh, man.
And then that makes me out here about to
Right.
like I want it to be okay now, but it can't be.
and
You
I
know?
don't like it that you're thinking about it, because what the hell is going through your mind?
Right.
What are
How
you going
bad
to
is
say
this
when
gonna
you
end
can't
up
back
when you're-
out? Like, do I need to get me like a shield or?
Yeah, but it always ends up being
myself.
less. It's always like, no, it's okay. You know, no, it's never ever any big deal. But luckily, between the two of us, she's a decider.
Right.
Like she's a figured out decider, and I'm just like a go with the flower. You want it, let's get it. I don't care the repercussions of it. Let's just go.
Yeah, we'll worry
if it
about
costs
that later.
money, we'll find the money and we'll get it. you
It's
know.
easier
I
to
probably
beg
spoil her a lot,
Right.
really.
And
But
it's easier to beg for forgiveness than to ask for permission.
exactly.
And that's my biggest problem, because I beg for forgiveness a lot.
Do you?
Rarely do I ask for permission. I usually just do it.
I always ask for permission.
Oh, I usually do after it's done. Like, hey, I went and
You
bought
mind if I
this.
do this? Well, if you said no.
Hey, I went and bought this. Is this okay?
Right.
I can take it back if you want. But you already ate it. It's food. Well, you know what? At least I'm asking.
Right. But things are pretty good. Like I always make sure, and I always ask her, I'm like, sometimes she has to get up an hour later than I do, so
Right.
she'll be in bed still, and I wake her up and I kiss her and I say, you know, have a good day, I love you, and you know, and I ask her, I was like, do you want me to do that? And then she's kind of the same way. Like, I want to know that before you leave, because I don't know what's going to happen after you
Right.
leave. So,
No,
it's interesting you mentioned
I don't like to wait Carrie up. I like her because Carrie's problem is she falls asleep quick, but she can't stay asleep.
Yeah.
She'll fall asleep. I mean, she turns on Chopped 10 o'clock at night. She's snoring by 10:07. I'm like, honey.
That's joking.
I'm like, okay, honey, I love you. Good night. So I'll give her a kiss on her forehead after she falls asleep.
You keep talking.
And
I'm going to
then-
let them out real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. And then she'll wake up, you know. She'll wake up repeatedly throughout the night. And I know that because things are moved in the bedroom, so I know that she's gotten up. She'll wake up, she'll fall asleep at, say, 10 o'clock. She'll get up at like 12, fall back asleep at like 2, get back up at like quarter after, fall back asleep about 3:30, and wake up at like 4:45. She's that person. She falls asleep quick but can't stay asleep. Which is the opposite of me. I can't fall asleep, but once I do, I'm asleep.
Right.
So usually in the morning when I get up with my phone, and which is the most annoying ringtone ever.
Baby got back.
Yeah, it's it gets louder and louder.
Oh,
It tells you it's 7:30 a.m. or
it sounds like one of those Google.
It's 4:45 a.m. It's part of my note.
Oh, I got
It's that Note 8 ringtone. That's
right.
Comes with
That's
the
what I
phone.
got.
I'll give her a kiss on her forehead. Tell her I love you. Give her a kiss on her forehead. Half the time she smiles. Half the time she just keeps smiling in my face.
Right.
I mean, whatever it is. But I know that I've given her a kiss.
Right. And you like that reassurance.
We're already on good terms anyways in the morning, so I don't have to worry about her having some kind of animosity. Of course she could.
Right.
Half the time she wakes up, looks down, and she's like cheating my dreams on me.
Right.
The amount of cheating on her in her dreams that I've had in the past 15 years, I'm a whore. Evidently, I'm a whore. Like, evidently, I get around. So, but yeah, I give her a kiss every morning, tell her I love her, wake the girls up. And if she's awake, she's awake. I make a pot of coffee, make her a smoothie in the morning.
Yeah.
Because she's got Hashimoto's, so she's on a higher protein.
Right.
But
so how long have you guys been together? How long were you married?
oh, we've been together for 15, living together for 14. We'll be married 13 in June.
Really?
No.
Wow. I was told in high school once that there's a 50%. Your chance goes to 50%. You'll be with the person if you can be
After
together.
7 years.
I was told 2 in high school. Me and Chelsea will be 10 years when we get married.
Right.
So it's like
My mom and stepdad were together for like 40, I think, or something like that. My parents got
40.
My parents got divorced when I was 5.
Yeah.
Shortly after my mom met my stepdad, and they dated. So I was 81. They got married in 91. They were together for 10 years before they got married. No, they were together 10 years before they even started living together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's my first marriage. I just call it a 5-year relationship. Really,
It just is what it is.
It is what it is with that.
Right. I'm gonna get off here for one more
Okay.
second. These dogs are driving me nuts.
Tell him, hey, leave me alone, man. Tail's wagging dog wants to play with you, man.
Yeah. Well, they're beating each other up. My cold air is going to go dying.
Right.
Get out of here, goober.
Goob.
There are goobs.
But yeah, I love being married. I love my wife. I would lay my life down for my wife and my children, in a heartbeat. So, and I would probably rip somebody's throat out for them too. Doesn't bother me one bit. So.
All right, if you want to get any more personal with this,
Sure.
what have been the greatest challenges being married? Like, what have you come across that's been the hardest? Like, we can actually mix these all together. So, what have been the greatest challenges?
We're flipping a house. If you can flip a house and survive a relationship and survive it, you can survive any damn thing.
A lot of stress flipping the house.
Man, dude, there's so much screaming and fighting and yelling. It ain't going right. This ain't fitting right. You know what? I'm trying, man. Do it this, man. Fuck you, man. Shut up. Let me do this. If you can survive, and Gary will tell you too, if you can survive flipping a house, you can survive anything.
Yeah.
There's never been any.
Was that really the greatest challenge you think you got come across?
Kids, but same views. But there's never been any indiscretions. I'm not a cheater.
Yeah.
She's not a cheater. So you don't have to worry about unfaithfulness.
Right.
That will probably be one of the biggest. Money and in-laws.
Money and in-laws.
Studies have shown that married couples fight and divorce for 2 reasons: money and in-laws.
Really?
You know what the difference between an in-law and an outlaw is?
What's that?
Outlaws are wanted. That is a true story.
So are you not a fan of your in-laws?
I can't say that.
Yeah. Off the record. It's not like it's recorded or anything.
Right, off the record. They're great, man. I can ask for better in-laws. If you've got good people, that you can get along with, as long as you can get on the same, most of the time, 98% of the time, I like my in-laws.
Right. I have great in-laws. I moved as soon as I got out of high school. Chelsea's mom let me live with her as soon as we got out. And then Chelsea's dad's I hang out with him more than anybody.
Well, I gotta tell you.
So I got really blessed in that department too.
My mom loves my wife more than she loves me.
Your mom?
Yeah, she loves my wife more than
my wife more than I love you too.
My wife is her favorite child, and it's weird, man. I don't know why. Like I told her today, I'm like, you need to stop being so nice to my mom. You need to start calling her by her first name, because she started calling her mom as soon as we started dating.
That's good.
She's always called her mom. My mom loves her. I'm like, if she doesn't call her mom, if she calls her by her name, Priscilla, my mom thinks she's done something.
Yeah.
Like my mom is like.
It's like calling a toddler by his name.
Like when I even just tap my kid's ass for doing something wrong, like my mom starts crying. So she's real soft, man.
Yeah.
So if Carrie calls her Priscilla, she's like, "Did I do something?
Brokenhearted.
Like, did I do something wrong?" So I'm like, "You need to stop, like, helping my mom. You need to stop being so. You need to start calling her Priscilla." But like, you know what? I ain't fucking helping you, Priscilla. Right. She's like, "I can't do it." I'm like,
then you get the
to.
point across,
right? Like, you need to stop being my mom's favorite.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
that's good though. I mean, in my opinion, weird for you. No one cares. But
right, nobody gives a shit, man. Like,
if Carrie's got a good relationship with your mom, that's awesome.
Yeah, as long as she's on good terms with her, it doesn't matter. I could be the biggest piece of shit in the world as long as she loves Carrie.
Yeah, but you're not. Yeah, so stop it.
Biggest for me and like I said, all of these. Excuse me.
Sorry.
All of these views on marriage and points of view of how I look at things, that's just mine, The next person you talk to be like, man, that dude's an idiot. What the hell is he talking about?
No.
So this is just how I take my takes on life. What did you guys say in school? Views from from Rob's point of view, or however you guys put that. But
oh yeah. I remember
through the eyes of Rob.
Right.
Yeah, life through the eyes of Rob. So this is just the way my twisted brain works. But for me personally, the biggest obstacle that we faced was flipping our house.
Okay.
That was hell on earth, man. It was like, I felt like every day I woke up, I was in hell.
Really?
Like, without the fire. It was horrible. Like, I think fire probably would have made it better.
Maybe eased it a bit.
Yeah, it probably would have taken the sting out of flipping a fucking house. But other than that, man, you have your ups and downs.
Yeah.
Every relationship does. Once you give her so long, you just get numb to it.
Right.
Everybody has their ups and downs, here's and there. Hey, it's great for a while, and you're kind of in a slump, you're in a funk for a while, and then something happens, and it's just like it flips a switch, and then you're back. Well, the last flip that got switched just put us. You have to get on the same page.
Right.
You have to. You can't. Especially once kids start coming into the picture, you've got to be on the same page. Yeah. You've got to be a united front. Other than that, marriage is just boyfriend and girlfriend with a piece of paper.
Right.
And the fact that she can take care of half of fucking everything you've got.
By the snap of her fingers.
Just by day one, man. Oh, you signed a marriage certificate. Oh, guess what? I get half your shit. You know what? I'm signing a prenup.
Yeah. I bet that'll go well if I mention that for a
honey, you can't have my studio shit.
Right. That's pretty much all that's mine here, and everything else is ours.
Everything is yours.
But I always tell her this, or if I don't tell her this enough, I should. But it's like, how I know I need to get married, and I know that because I wake up every day happy. I wake up every single day, and I look at her, and I look at what we have in this life, and it's like, it's unbelievable. Right. Like I don't think I deserve everything I have.
Right.
So I know, like, I'm 100% committed to her.
Well, there's no common law in Ohio, so if you just stay together forever, and then after 40 years, I think it's time we try something else. She can't take half your shit.
Well, she won't. She won't. I don't care what all these guys say. I've worked with like 20 guys that are like, "We might get divorced. It's bad." I'm like, "Yeah, you guys just probably suck as men."
Yeah, that's because you picked the wrong woman, man. If you picked the right woman,
or she picked the wrong man.
Right. That's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing
I ain't worried about it.
She made the wrong choice. Like, that was not a good final answer.
But it's different every situation. I'm not dogging guys who are divorced or women who are divorced. You got to be happy, and sometimes you don't know. And I'm glad that I was with her for so long to find out.
Right.
Because it's such a gamble. I'm probably a 1 in a million situation.
Right.
Be getting so long.
I'm like the diamond in an ice storm kind of thing. She's
diamond.
She got lucky. She found me, man. Like, I lay over at night. Like, I'll wake up and I'll look. I'll be like, "You are one lucky bitch, man." You know that? Like, I don't know how you got so damn lucky. I do, because I chose you, honey. I chose you.
For everybody out there, go ahead. So for everybody watching, if you hear us reference what we called him in school or anything about school, we attended HVAC trade school together as adult learners. Yes. So you can imagine the group of individuals in this class.
Definitely rare.
But it was definitely a great experience. I recommend everybody who has a slight interest in going to trade school definitely go.
Yes.
I met some of the best people I've ever met in my entire life there, and I've been to trade school now twice, kind of 3 times, because I'm certified in a few different trades. But I recommend it to everybody. Vocational school is incredible. You'll meet great people.
I was done with that because I don't like school. As a matter of fact, I highly
recommend,
if you go to trade school, I highly recommend cheating like certain
You
people in our
didn't,
class.
yes, but you didn't cheat. You were good.
No, I
you were
did
real
not
good.
cheat, and I think that was a phase
Yeah,
of being good. I think it was a phase.
it's gone now.
Yeah, I'm over
Okay,
it.
because I was gonna say you were probably one of the best.
I'm over it.
It was like Grover, Poles, Rob, and then like the rest of us. Well, Mitch, he knew everything.
Well, that's because he did it for a living before he went to that school, so he already knew more than us, which I think was kind of unfair. I think he should have come in. I think he should have come in not knowing nothing.
Who, Mitch?
Yeah, I think he's been like, you know what, I'm an idiot. Like, I do this shit every day, but I obviously don't know what I'm doing. That's why
I think it was great for him, though. If anything, it was an ego boost, and it helped him get to where he's at now. Because he really taught us. He really taught us more.
Gave him some new friends.
It did. It did. I love all those guys.
Good ones,
yeah.
If you ask me. Probably two of the best in right here. Two best friends you could have.
Yeah, so you're welcome, Mitch.
Yeah. That's all for
and
you.
Josh Grover, for
you know what?
matter.
That's all for you, Mitch.
It was.
All for you, buddy.
Well, that's all. It's
he already knew Grover, so it doesn't really count.
No, well, yeah. That's true. I like Grover, though.
I do, too.
Aside from certain discrepancies, but we won't mention
With
them.
the
We won't
fact
mention
that
them here.
We will not mention those, but I do get to ask, has the measles hit you yet, bub? Because there's an outbreak. Love you, man.
I can't do anything with you. I can't do anything.
I hear that a lot.
Your poor wife. Your poor wife.
I say that a lot.
But anyway, we'll move on from that. So, all right, but last thing on that, actually. One final piece of advice for me before I get married. It's like 40 days at this point.
Okay.
One last piece of advice, and how do you think my mindset should be going into it? Into the wedding.
One last piece of advice. Tell your future wife, and I know what I'm going to say, tell your wife every day that you love her and how she looks to you from the heart. Now, don't try to be no cheesy ass, man, your leg's tired because you've been running through my mind all day kind of guy.
She'd like that. She's cheesy.
Yeah, those cheesy ass pickup lines, but...
I say one every time I see her. I said, hey, how much does a polar bear weigh? Break the ice. How you doing, baby?
Break the ice. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm smooth like that.
That's right.
That's what I got her in the first place.
I got more games with PlayStation. So I used to I got more games with Sega. How you doing?
Sega.
Yeah. So
what's a Sega?
We'll
have some comments on the video. What's a Sega?
What's a Sega? Like, what are you, like 10? So, hey, if you're watching this vlog, you probably should be an adult. But
probably. Yeah, I don't care who said it. I mean, do you talk any better right now than you do around your kids? You just say you drop F-bombs. So it's good.
I keep the pervertness. As a matter of fact, this is a sidebar. Well, I will tell you before I hit my sidebar. Try to tell your wife every day you love her and how beautiful she is.
Absolutely.
I try to boost my wife's ego and her morale. I mean, that's
so confidence.
As long as you
everything.
can build your wife up.
Yeah.
The more you can build her up, and the more you can make her. I don't know how to put it without trying to sound like some kind of a fucking motivational speaker. The more you can build your wife up and keep her up, the better she will be at keeping you up.
Right. Try to put each other on a pedestal almost.
As a sidebar, I was at the grocery store one day with the family in Walmart, and I had grabbed
I'm going to quit doing these videos.
A thing of sausage or something. And I was like, honey, and I had it like right here, and Jan looks at me, she's like, really, Dad? And I'm like, what? I was just showing your mom some food. Like, whatever. Get your mind out of the gutter, 11-year-old. You shouldn't even know what I'm talking about.
Your daughter better be a stand-up comedian.
What are you learning at?
You should be.
What are you learning in middle school? In 5th grade?
What's she learning at home?
Weirdo. She's learning important life lessons.
Yeah, she is. We're to hold the sausage.
I am teaching her how to survive.
Fair enough. That's a great segue onto children.
Oh man, dude. I'm gonna tell you. I was thinking about this earlier today.
Yeah.
Kids are great for a few reasons. One, because it reminds you how much wrong you did in life, how big of an asshole you really were.
Yeah.
You know, they always say, "Oh, I hope your kids are worse than what you were." You know what? They will be. There is no kid that will not ever be worse than that will never be. Dude, I'm telling you, kids are great because they can do a few things for you. Gives you something to be proud of all the time.
Yeah.
I love my daughters with all my heart, man. The fact that I have 2 fucking daughters kind of sucks because other than the one cat in my house, I'm the only fucking guy, man. So I got
2 girl dogs and
one. I got 2 girl dogs, a girl cat, 2 daughters, and a fucking wife, man. So like,
I'm on that track.
Dude, I can't even, because we have both been to the chop shop. Me and the male cat, we both have no fucking testosterone left. So it's just a house full of estrogen, man. But kids are great because they give you they give you a reason to get up in the morning. They give you a reason. I love my kids, dude. I would rip somebody's fucking face off with my toenail just to defend my kids, you know. I would kick somebody I would punch somebody repeatedly in the face with my foot, as I once told somebody on Facebook.
It's getting out of
for
hand.
my daughters, yeah.
You know, I need to take a minute to say that I know both your daughters, and they are amazingly more
like me than what I wish they weren't.
Way less than what I thought they'd end up with you being their dad. At least to me, they're so loving and caring and compassionate.
Yeah.
And you're like, I love you, and you are one of my best friends I've ever met in my life, but you're a psychopath. And I would expect some of that to be...
I wouldn't say psychopath. I would say I am committed to protecting the people I love.
True. I'll say that also.
Psychopath, whatever.
Yeah, they both fit the same hole almost.
Dumbass, whatever. It's all the same thing. I've been called all those. But,
I'm getting the Charlie horse from laughing.
But, yeah, like, your kids give you a reason to talk to people.
Right.
It could keep you in conversations for hours. Like, dude, I could spend hours just talking about Jalen.
Yeah.
Or Bella. Like, the things that they do, the way that they are. It's kids.
Fascinating.
That's not probably a word I would use to describe them.
Okay.
But
no, I meant the experience. Of seeing
it's
their different personalities and how they are.
Yeah, I've always said when Carrie was pregnant with my kids, with my daughters, and then each one, I even said, I can't wait to see what they're going to look like.
Yeah.
It's probably not what I should have thought. What I should have thought was, I wonder how big of an asshole they're going to be.
Yeah.
Because I am their father and they are their father's daughters.
Yeah.
So yeah, they give you something in common with other parents for talks, you know, conversations, you know, it gives you, I don't know, man, like I can talk to so many people that have kids our age. Hey, you know, what's your kid like? Do you have sons? Do you have daughters? How many kids you got? You know, what are they, you know, just the conversations, the aspects of life that changes once you have kids.
Right.
You know, before we had kids, I was a raging fucking alcoholic, man.
Were you really?
And my one buddy would stand out in my garage and throw darts because I had a dartboard out there in the fridge, and we would partake in some herbal medication and drink a lot of fucking beer every night during the summer. And Carrie, I think, probably would have been happier to stab me in the cheek with a fucking toenail clipper than to even look at me.
Is that right?
But then I had Jalen, man. Jalen come along, and she kind of sobered me up a little. I didn't drink quite as much, but I still drank a lot. And then Bella came along, and she makes me want to punch people in the face because it's just Bella. Like, it's like, why did she do the things? I don't know. It's Bella. You know, like, why did she lose her glasses?
I think Bella's more like you.
Bella. Oh my God, dude.
Because your oldest is so sweet.
Yes, she is so sweet. She has not a mean bone in her body.
But your little one seems like she'll be an MMA fighter.
She will kick you in the teeth while you're laying on the floor watching TV.
But that's exciting, though, because I think it's like when you have your kids, it's like you have no idea what that's going to be like. And then it's like you got a sweetheart, and then you got one that'll like defend you if someone breaks in the house. You don't even worry about it because she'll take them down.
You might want to invest in a cup if you have a kid like Bella.
Well, that's
like she punched me in the stomach and it hurt, man. Like a 6-year-old should not be able to hurt me.
No.
Like
maybe you're soft.
I could be. Bella, dude, her little cousin, my brother-in-law's son Lucas he was taking some Aikido or karate or something. This was a couple years ago.
Aikido.
They would get together and they'd wrestle around and shit. And Bella was like 4. She's like, Dad, I said, what? She said, will you teach me how to choke Lucas to sleep? I said, no, I will not teach you how to choke your cousin to sleep because you'll fucking kill him, man. You'll turn him into a vegetable because you won't know to let go once he stops twitching.
That's awesome.
That's Bella. And so, yeah, they like Jalen. She is the biggest sweetheart. She wears her heart on her sleeve. She thinks if you're nice to her, she's your best friend.
Yeah.
Which makes her very gullible and susceptible to bad people in the world. And I'm trying my best to give her real life lessons. So I'll pay her like $10 to do the dishes, and then when she's going to the bedroom, I'll roll her and take her money because it's my job to teach her life lessons. I really don't pay her to do dishes because she tried doing dishes once and they were terrible. Like they still had shit on them. I'm like, you're not allowed to touch my fucking dishes.
I'll also teach her that you don't get paid for bad work.
Yeah, you don't get paid if you have to redo it because if it's not done right the first time, you might as well.
In HVAC, we call that a callback, and you don't get paid for it.
And you could get fired for a callback. Or you have a real pissed off customer, and then they don't have to pay for the callback, and it's all bad either way. So
we're going too far into the tree.
Yeah.
All right. So, did you always want children your whole life?
No. I'll tell you what. When I was a kid, I always said there were certain things I'm never going to do. I'm never going to get married. I'm never going to have kids, and I'm never going to go to jail. Well, guess what?
You did all 3.
I've accomplished all 3 of those. It has been the worst.
You're
ever.
a
I had
succeeder.
such a shitty track record growing up, man. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. You know, I'm going to be such a productive member of society, and I'm going to be somebody. Turns out I'm not.
There you are.
I did not turn into somebody.
No, you sure did. I disagree. I do disagree. I mean, you're a great dad. You're a great husband. And you have a good job. So.
Well, Carrie will tell you that maybe you may be right on one or maybe one of those.
Yeah.
She will tell you I'm a good father.
Yeah.
I don't know. She'll
Good
agree with
husband?
you on the husband or anything other than that.
You're a good friend.
He's a good dad. And yes,
say
he's a
that.
good friend. Very loyal.
Yeah.
Man, I always tell
Like a
people,
Labrador.
if you're, like a lab, but not quite as hyper.
No.
Because I told you, I
You're not
have
stupid
ADD, not ADHD.
Right. True.
So I'm more like a Saint Bernard that just lays around all the time.
Yeah. Basset
Without
hound.
the eating. Yeah, Basset Hound only. I don't have
Basset.
short, stubby legs, so.
Or long ears, but we can.
Yeah,
make up for
but
that.
we digress.
Yeah. So when Carrie first got pregnant, leading up to being a father, how did that change your behavior and how
It
you
didn't
thought
really.
about it? No?
No, not really, because I didn't have a kid. It was in her stomach. Like, that ain't gonna
Right.
really change.
But you didn't have any anxiety or anything leading up to it?
No, I got a lot of nieces and nephews, man. I got 3 sisters, and they're all older than me, so. And they all had a couple kids each, so I was used to kids. Plus, I'm a big kid myself, which is what I told my softball team Friday, so I'm a big kid myself. I have the mentality of a child, so I'm like a 220-pound fucking 8-year-old.
Yeah.
You know,
That's a
like,
big kid.
what's wrong with that dude? There's nothing. He's just a big fucking
just
kid.
who
I
he
just
is
don't
as
think
a
he grow
person.
up. I don't think he's ever gonna grow up. Like, this dude's gonna just be a kid his entire life. Well, why not, man? Kids have fun.
Yeah.
Adults don't have fun.
That's true. They pay
You know?
bills and
Yeah, it's stupid. Adulting sucks, man. I wish I
give
could go
dirty
back.
looks to each other at the grocery store.
Yeah, like, that's what I tell people. Like, man, you know what?
I think I'm going to be
Eat
a
it.
mess, though,
Eat it.
up into it. Because we definitely want to have kids, but I think I'm going to stress over it so bad.
No, it ain't that bad, man. And let me tell
I
you.
know it ain't that bad, but my mind don't know
Well,
that.
here's the thing.
'Cause I want to be good, you know? I want to be like the perfect dad.
Well, here's the thing. My kids look at me when I get home, like Wednesday, man. I worked a 14-hour day. I didn't see my kids all day. I didn't see them at all Wednesday.
Yeah.
Thursday morning, they come in. Jalen rushes downstairs and just runs up, gives me a hug. I'll walk home, and I get home. I walk in my door if my kids are still awake. You know that hero's welcome you get from your dogs?
Yeah.
It's better because these kids walk upright.
Yeah.
They're bipeds, man. Like I'm like, my kids think I'm like the greatest fucking thing on earth, man. I'm like,
No doubt.
I don't know what the hell did I ever do. Like, I'm mean as shit, man. Like, I scream at you a lot. Like,
Right.
I will beat you with a fucking belt. Like, I will beat you with a garden hose.
So tough.
You know, like, what did I ever do to, like, your kids you are the greatest thing.
They
in the
respect
world.
you, though, and it's obvious.
And they fear punishment. And that's
yeah,
the
but
way
that's
it should
smart.
be. Right.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
we're not going to do
you
anything
need to
wrong
have
because
discipline.
We're going to get our asses kicked. And I don't want to get my ass kicked because my dad's big and he's kind of scary.
No.
But your kids, man, you are put on such a pedestal. Like, I know my wife loves me with all her heart. I know she would never step out on me. I know she would never do anything to jeopardize our marriage.
Yeah.
I know this for 100% without a doubt. She puts me, I think, on too high of a pedestal.
You think so?
Yeah, I think she holds me in a higher regard.
She's very
than
proud
what
of
I
you, and
should.
I can say from experience, talking
But
with her.
my daughters, man, dude, your kids will put you on such a pedestal, man. They hold you in such high regards that it's almost...
Do you feel like it's hard to live up to sometimes?
Exactly. It's almost, I feel like I don't know how I'm going to live up to that.
But you've been doing it.
Right, and that's one thing that I want to teach my daughters. If I
Yeah.
had it, which Bella's kind of like a boy in a girl's body. She's just all tomboy, man. She's kind of mean like a dude. So, I'm just trying to give my daughters an example of what they need to look for in a guy.
Yeah.
And the old saying is, guys marry their moms, daughters marry their fathers.
Oh my gosh.
As freaking weird as that sounds, and that does sound like Oedipus complex and all, but I'm trying to give and that's the reason why you treat their mother with utmost respect, you know, and you treat them like I'm an old soul, man. Like I grew up with the values of, I grew up in a time that my old man was old, so he had that old school values of do as I say, don't do as I do. But his was the man stayed home, or the man worked, the woman stayed home. You know, you treat your woman like a queen. You give her what she wants. You treat her with respect. Anybody steps out of line and they paid severely for it. You know, and that's what I'm trying to teach my daughters, to find somebody like that. But judging from the fact that kids want to go into the fucking, they're a boy and they want to go sit in a fucking woman's room and they're eating Tide Pods and licking fucking toilet seats and shit, man. So it's going to be really hard to find one of them guys in the future when they grow up.
You go off on such a controversial tangent.
Dude,
man. It's like...
there's no controversy. If you stand to piss, you go in the men's room. If you fucking squat, you go in the woman's room. You know, you don't lick toilets. You don't lick urinals. You don't eat fucking Tide Pods. You don't eat fucking insulation out of the walls.
Life through the eyes of Rob.
It's simple. Just I'm trying to raise my daughters to be a decent human being.
No doubt.
And I've been trying to.
So far. No
decent
doubt.
human being is a term that I've been using a lot here lately.
Yeah.
You know, bullying. I wanted to touch on bullying, and that is such a sensitive subject all around, man. That is a slippery slope to be touching on something like that. But just in the way I look at life, the way I feel life should be lived, you know, just be respectful of your elders, you know, have some respect for yourself, other people, you know, be courteous, man. Open the door for somebody walking in ahead of you. Open the door. Here
Absolutely.
you go. Yes,
Courtesy.
ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. May I please have?
Right.
Thank you. You're welcome. Just
I'm a huge proponent of manners and
common
courtesy.
fucking courtesy, man. And that goes a long way.
Absolutely.
You know, open the door. I like to open the door for my wife. I don't do it all the time, but
Yeah.
she just thinks I'm just being all messed up in the head when I open the door. There you go, honey. And then, of course, when she sits down, I stick my hand, so she sits in my hand, and then I like mess with her ass and shit. But you know, that's just me. But
Oh, you're
I'm
great.
just trying to teach my kids the old school mentality in a new school world, and that is a hard thing to get them to do.
It is hard.
When my kids go out, you know, I was Jalen Bellis. Oh my God, they were angels. They were better than our kids. I'm like, are we talking about the same kids here?
Right.
Because when we go home, they're dicks.
They have manners, though.
Like, they don't clean up after themselves at home, but like, man, they leave shit laying around. Like, I'll come walking downstairs and find some dirty panties on. Like, really? You can't throw them in the damn hamper. You can't put them in the fucking basket. Like, do you do that at your grandma's? Well, no, we clean up after. Why the hell can't you do it at home? You know, obviously at home it's a safe zone. They're
Right, it's a comfortable area.
whatever it is.
They're not held up to such a high standard as
and
grandma's.
that's the thing. I'm trying to hold them accountable for, and that's the biggest thing is accountability.
Yeah.
I want my daughters to know accountability. I want them to grow up decent human beings.
Yeah.
Man. Just treat
Just
people
flat
with
out.
respect. You know, what's the golden rule that we were growing up? Do unto others as you have them do unto you.
Right.
And that's just what I want my kids to do.
No doubt.
Now, outside the house, they're like that. At home, they're kind of assholes, man.
Right.
They're yelling and screaming at each other and fighting for the belt. And 6 hours later, they're cuddled up on the couch. I don't know. I don't understand it, man.
That's how it is.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with some of the old school values. There's a lot there that's really important, I think. But there's some of the new school stuff that I think some of the old school stuff really, especially having daughters, I think they've always talked like women are kind of put down as a secondary. They're not supposed to succeed at least as much as boys are kind of. So that kind of, it's like, how do you do that? How do you do you're talking about the old schools and, you know, you put your wife on a pedestal while you do all the work, but women want to be an active working, you know, and they are, but,
You want to
they're
know
being
the asshole
held.
thought? You want to be equal as a guy? Piss your name in the snow without pissing down your leg.
That's the Rob Scott thought.
That's the Rob
But do you see
Scott
what I'm saying?
Well,
like
here's
I
the
would
thing.
hate to have my daughters think that they have to do something less because
Well, here's the thing.
of their
I
gender.
seen a post on Facebook one day. If it's on Facebook,
This
it's
is
got to
the-
be true.
Of course.
It's true. if
This
it's
is the
on social
source.
media.
Facebook
Yes.
meme
It's
post.
like it's the new Wikipedia.
Right.
Facebook is the new Webster. But it said
It is not.
women. It is not. It is not. Honey, it is not. So it was this thing that said, and I read it to Carrie one day. It said they're starting to take the role of women away. And basically, in essence, it was saying that they are focusing so much on women that they can do everything that we can do that it has taken their uniqueness away. Women are a unique breed.
Absolutely.
Man. Women are a unique breed.
Absolutely.
They will never be figured out. They are I can't say Pandora's box because Pandora's box caused a lot of trouble, which some women do, but that's another story.
It's a whole different deal.
They're a labyrinth. A man, a woman is a labyrinth. You will never figure out a woman. Once you think you've got her figured out, she will kick you in the dick. And she will take away all thoughts of having her figured out.
True.
You can kind of figure people out, but women are unique.
Yes.
They are definitely God's gift to us.
Absolutely.
Like, one, I can't shit a baby out, so that really helps.
This is true. But what I'm saying is I think women should fully embrace their femininity. They should definitely have that role, or not that role necessarily, but that should be part of their uniqueness.
Right.
But they should still have as much opportunity as anybody else. And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
As far as that
yes.
goes. 'Cause I don't want them to feel. I don't want I'm gonna conquer the world with a sword and kind of person, and that's what I would want my daughter to be by all means. That's if there's guys that are getting special treatment, outwork them. You know what I mean? That kind of mentality.
Bella's gonna conquer the world with a lighter and a can of Aquanet. She will burn the world down to succeed.
You did like the trailer park version of what I said, like
she's-
Aquanet. No light.
Yeah, White Rain. Just take it.
White
She
Rain.
will burn the world down with a Zippo and a
gosh.
bottle of fucking White Rain.
We need to get out of this whole gender political aspect.
But
So,
yeah,
children though recommended.
they are highly recommended.
Yeah.
The greatest gift that God could have given me, other than my wife, is my daughters.
Yeah.
I mean, I live every day to do everything I can for my three favorite women at home.
Yeah.
There is nothing better. I talk about my kids a lot. I talk about Carrie a lot. I am constantly.
Well, you have a great
bragging
wife
on
and
my
great
family.
kids. So
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I am blessed beyond words. In all honesty, not sucking up, honey. Just honestly.
Did you do something wrong?
I couldn't.
But I'm
ask
looking
for a
forward to
I
it.
couldn't ask for a better. I couldn't ask for a better wife or daughters. So,
You have a good crew to go through life with.
yeah, I definitely got a good support system.
Yeah. Excellent.
With everything. So,
Excellent.
of course, I told Bella today that she was my favorite because we was walking into Myers for something. She says something about mom, and she's like, "No, Dad's right." And I'm like, "That's why you're my favorite."
It's the dad's
She's
right.
like, yeah. I tell a lot of dad jokes. And
I know you do.
It
I
makes
bet you do.
Jalen's eyes roll.
A lot different the jokes you told in HVAC.
Yeah,
So.
I tell clean, weird, dorky jokes, man.
You should though. That's what makes you.
Yeah,
That's
you know-
your
Yeah,
uniqueness.
hey, you know why blind people don't skydive? It scares the shit out of their dogs. Jokes like that. It just Jalen's like, "Oh, really, Dad?" She rolls her eyes like, "Oh."
You made me sick with that joke. So I'm gonna take a tire iron to your back window of your car before I leave for that. But all right, so one more topic to jump on, and it's a broad topic.
Okay.
And this is kind of, I know I'm gonna get answers through the eyes of Rob because the topic is just kind of life in general.
Broad. Okay.
Okay, so
I would try my best.
So here's the question that I've come up with. I wanted to ask you.
Right.
So it says, I'm so scared of the answer to this. So what would you tell 18-year-old Rob today? What advice? What to prepare for? What warnings that he's about to endure? What encouragements? What do you think 18-year-old Rob needed to be in a better place than he's at now? Not saying you're in a bad place, but you understand the concept of the
Right.
question. What would you tell yourself?
Just say no, brother. Just say no. Leave lighters alone. And, I don't know if I would tell my 18-year-old self anything.
Really?
Where I'm at today as a result of all the choices that I've made in the past. I seen a saying that said, choices is what defines your future. Now, I'm driving home and I decide, you know what? I'm right above empty. I can make it all the way home.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm in Carrie's car, so because, like I said, I didn't want to make your neighbors any angrier. They probably
fine, you're
already
fine.
are. Like they'd hear me coming all the way from Route 30, be like, "Holy shit, man! I heard that car coming from 6 miles." If I decided, and here's the parable: if I decided to wait till I got home to get gas, and I forgot to get gas once I got home, and I went to bed, I'm already gone. Carrie goes out and gets in the car, and she's already running late because my kids have been assholes in the morning. And she's like, well, I don't have enough gas to get to work. Now I got to stop and get gas. That choice that I made tonight to not get gas affects Carrie tomorrow. Every choice you make affects more than just yourself. Right. Every choice you make in life affects everything around you in your world. And when I say in your world, it's everything that you are associated with. Chelsea, your dogs, your house, your co-workers, your friends, and family. You know, everything that you do affects everything that they do in the future is how I feel about it.
So what you're kind of saying is you probably wouldn't tell yourself anything because you know this is how it's supposed to work out.
I would not want to alter my future because if I were to tell my 18-year-old self, just as an example, not that this really happened, but let's say, hey, don't go to the bar following that band you used to like to watch all the time. Don't drink them beers. Don't get busted for underage consumption, which I never have, by the way. That is a true story. If I were to tell myself that, hey, on this night, stay away from the alcohol. Anything I may have done, I would be thinking about, and I would not do that. Of course, knowing me, I would do it anyways because I'm a fucking idiot.
You're unpredictable.
I'm an idiot. I don't listen to. I wouldn't even listen to myself. I don't listen to nobody.
Okay, let's just make it a little more general though. So instead of altering your life, someone in your shoes that isn't you, that's had the same struggles you did at age 18, that would have had right. What would you? What did they need? Encouragement? Did they need advice?
Man, just be a decent damn human being, man. To give 110% in everything you do. Just make good choices. And I tell my daughters that every day. Good choices. That's a common word in our household. Good choices. Make good choices. Stand up for your friends. Stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves. Just be a decent damn human being, man. Don't follow the crowd. Do what you know is right. And that's about the best advice I can give to and especially any kids these days, man. Just have respect for yourself. Respect for other people. Manners. Just be the kind of person that people want to be around. Mm-hmm. And that's the best advice I could probably give. And don't do meth. Because
that's never a good idea.
Like adulting is easy. Like pay your bills, man. Go to work every day and don't do meth. It's like simple rules.
Last thing, for you specifically.
For me.
What gives your life meaning?
Isabella, Jalen, and Carrie. That is what I work for. It's what I get up for. It's why I enjoy going home. I love my family. I'm big on family. I love my family more than life itself. I would gladly lay my life down for my wife and my daughters. And that's one of those things that makes people like us so rare because everybody is a think for yourself for these days, man. It's what can I do? What's going to make me happy? What's going to keep me safe? Mm-hmm. Once you have a wife, once you have children, your life gets put on the back burner.
Yeah. You,
as much as Kara says, you matter. In the grand scheme of things, in my view, the way I look at it, they all come first.
Absolutely.
They are the most important things. If I have to sacrifice myself to make them succeed and get them further along in life, I have no problem with that.
Right.
That's just thought from my twisted
sense. But they're all an extension of you also. So it's like you definitely matter because that's a part of you.
Right.
So, but that's great. I'm glad you took the time to come out and talk with me about this.
First time caller, long time listener.
Well, I'm glad you like to, at least, I don't know if you like it, but I'm glad that you do listen and support some of these videos I make.
Oh, yeah.
But I just want to take a minute personally to talk a little bit about Robb. I probably should have done this in the beginning, but I just wrote it down here to talk about him. I really do appreciate Robb. We have a significant age difference, about 20 years. But I would have we are easily brothers in every sense of the word, in my opinion.
Brothers from a different mother, as I like to say it. I'm not a sister from a different mister, so not to be confused with that. But that's debatable.
Yeah, but Robb's a great guy. I met him in trade school, and he grabs your attention very fast. You know what I mean? So he has jokes, and he comes off and he has like crazy stories he tells you. But you're a sweetheart of a guy. You're such a great friend. You've been there every year. Since I met you in every aspect of my life. So I'm truly blessed to call you my friend, and I thank you for doing this vlog podcast, whatever I decide to call this one day.
Right. Your future, when you get famous, just remember this video right here when he gets famous, and I'm still setting bathtubs. So
I just want to say, I hope Robb's kids watch this when they're older
And they
look
will
back
say,
on
man,
this.
he is just as messed up as I remember, man. What the hell is wrong with Mom? What the hell's wrong with Dad? Like, I don't know, man. He is your dad. That's all I can say.
Definitely not. But thank you, Rob.
Yes, sir.
This
Thanks
was
for having
awesome.
me.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
This was a good time.
Yes, sir.
And that's that.
Now I gotta piss. Where's
Good.
Batman?
Down there on first rate.
I come from Ohio, and that's all I know. The place that I call